Thank you, Tyler. Well, one local teenager is doing her best to help the fight against dementia. 5 News anchor Darren Bobb sat down with this Paris High School student and has details.
It is called Dolls for Dementia. It is a program, a nonprofit organization that raises money to provide dolls for patients who are going through Alzheimer's and dementia. And it was all started by a 9th grader at Paris High School, and she is with us this morning. Emily Ritchie, thank you so much for being here this morning. Let's talk about this. Before we talk about what we're looking at here, how did you come up with this idea? Where did it start from?
It was back in June of last year that I decided I wanted to start a charity and I wanted to help my community. And so I started thinking of different ideas that I could do, and I remembered back to when I was about 6 years old, and I went to see my great-grandmother, and she was in a nursing home, and she had Alzheimer's at the time. And I went over there, and I was bringing my brand new doll that I got for Christmas, and I was going to show her, and she decided that the doll was now going to be hers, and she was going to keep it there with her. And at the time, I didn't really understand why she wanted to keep it, but I just realized it made her so happy and that I needed to leave it there with her. So
since then you have done some research, and what have you found as far as how dolls provide therapy for Alzheimer's patients?
I've found that doll therapy, the reason that the dolls make them so happy is because it makes them remember back to whenever they were younger and maybe took care of a baby or had a child of their own, and it comforts them and reduces their agitation.
Now, you raise money. How do you do that? What's the fundraising process here?
My FBLA at Paris High School has raised money. We've put on fundraisers throughout the year, and we've had corporate and individual sponsors who've helped us raise almost $5,000 so far.
And you bought how many dolls, and how many have you given out now?
We've bought about 60 dolls, and we've already given out 50.
To how many different locations?
We've already went to 3 locations, and we have a few more plans.
Now we've got pictures in one course right where we're showing them now. This was the one that was done in Paris just not too long ago, where you handed out 20 some odd dolls. Is that right?
Yes.
How'd that go?
It went great. We had a guest speaker come, and we explained to them what doll therapy was, and we handed out the dolls, and the caregivers of the patients were there, so they got to see the reactions on their faces, and it was awesome.
And you were there. Give us a couple of stories. I mean, just watching the family members of those patients has got to be the biggest thing ever.
Oh yes, there was one that we went to, and we handed her the doll, and at first she was looking at it, and then she started smiling, and she told us that she wanted to keep the doll, and that she wanted us to not take it from her. And we later talked to my dad, who's the doctor who goes and sees them, and he told us that he couldn't believe that she had actually told us this, because of the 15 years that he's seen her, he has never heard her talk or seen her smile.
Is that right? So this was some sort of breakthrough then, just by having this doll there. The fundraising part itself, it's grown from the kids at school to where you're getting corporate help, individual help, and even it's gotten to the point where some of these nursing homes that you'll visit are actually helping you as well?
Yes, they're partnering with us, and they'll raise some money, and we'll raise some money, and we'll put it together and buy the dolls for them.
Has this gotten bigger than you ever thought, this quick?
Oh yes, we started out and we figured maybe we could provide 50 dolls in this year, and we've already done that, so we've expanded our goal to 100 for 2014, and it's grown much more than I ever imagined.
How are your friends dealing with this, or accepting this, or helping you out with this? Are they like, let's go do this?
Yes, they've helped a lot. They've went and they've shared our Facebook page and told all of their friends, and they came with me to deliver dolls, and they've jumped right on board and helped me so much.
Now you have a website, dollsfordementia.com. What's on the website? Is there a way to help raise money there, or just find out more information? What's on that website?
You can see pictures from things we've done. You can find out more about it, and there's a place that you can email us if you want to donate, or if you have more questions about it.
All right. This started less than 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Where do you see this going in the next 8 months, or even just by the time you graduate high school, 4 years from now, 3.5 years from now, where do you see this program?
I see it growing a lot, and I think that we will provide dolls, hopefully, to nursing homes all over the state of Arkansas by the time I've graduated.
And you get help, or the only way you can do that is actually getting help from your friends and everybody else. Let's talk about what we can't show, or what we can't tell you, is how heavy these dolls are. And there's a reason that these are heavier than your normal doll. Explain that just a little bit.
Well, we buy these dolls and they're weighted, and they have a soft body and hard legs and arms, and their faces look realistic because they want it to feel like a real doll or a real baby.
Right.
And the bears are weighted so that way when they sit them in their laps, they don't fall out, or they're just easier to hold whenever
Oh,
they
I
do
see.
that.
So this is something that's part of that therapy, where the more realistic, the better it is.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. All right. Emily, thank you so much for being with us this morning. It's Dolls for Dementia. You can go on their website at dollsfordementia.com. And I would assume that these dolls aren't cheap, and so you do have to raise quite a bit of money for this, but you're well on your way. You got to be proud of yourself. Your parents ought to be really proud of you as well too. And it's a great program, and we appreciate you joining us this morning. Best of luck with it, by the way.
Thank you.
I see this thing being gigantic in the next year or so. Emily Ritchie joining us now. Dollsfordementia.com. We will have more 5 News Sunday morning right after this.